Yes, hello. Welcome to Sparky's Playground Intramurals podcast. I'm your host, Tim Iannello. Today we will be talking about the state of ASU's intramurals. I have an interview with head of ASU intramural, John Merryman. And then later on in the show, I'll be having two guests in the studio come in and speak with me. So, a little background on the intramurals. In the fall semester of 2019, ASU offers 24 different activities, ranging from basketball, flag football, indoor and sand volleyball, dodgeball, and many more like table tennis, battleship. These activities can be played at ASU's campus, at all of ASU's campuses, which include Tempe, Downtown, West, and Polytechnic campuses. So without further ado, let's jump into the interview I did with John Merryman. Here we go. So first of all, to start off, is intramural participation increasing or decreasing here at ASU?
I believe it's increasing. The number of participants and the number of teams that we have seems to always be going up. And we even run on Sunday nights, and we run up till 11, sometimes even midnight. So.
Okay. So how much money does it take to run these events, like from the university side of things?
I don't have an exact number, but it's basically however much it costs to basically pay our students. That's pretty much whatever the cost is going to be. There is some field maintenance that we have to cover, painting lines and that kinds of things, as well as like the equipment. But for the most part, it kind of just runs itself.
And are most of those funds coming from the participation fees from the students?
So it comes kind of just with their student fees that they kind of pay like with their tuition. And then there is like an intramural membership fee that a lot of students pay. So it's $25 for the year, $15 for the semester.
Okay.
So that helps cover a lot of the costs.
Okay. So is there any problems that intramural sports here are facing?
I guess with any intramural sport program, you are going to have some of those students that get maybe a little bit too passionate, and that do get a little aggressive towards some of the other players. But with that, we do suspend them. We talk to them, have a conversation with them, and for the most part, we never have any problems with them again.
Okay. So how does intramural sports differ from the club sports offered here?
So intramural sports, it's on campus. It's students versus students, ASU students versus ASU students. And it's more casual, more relaxed. It's competitive, fun, but it's a lot more relaxed. It's once a week, about an hour a week commitment. Whereas with sport clubs, they're a lot more competitive, kind of on that level of like a travel team that you see a lot in like high school or a younger age, where they do have set practice times, 2 or 3, 4 times, maybe even up to 5 times a week. They do travel to other cities, other states, and compete against other club level teams.
Okay. So what is the biggest demographic of players? Is it more fraternities that group up, or friends, or classmates?
It's a good mixture of both. So we do have our Greek leagues, which are separate and just for fraternities and sororities, and that's what they compete in. But a lot of those Greek students do compete with their friends in different other leagues, but we do have a lot of teams that compete outside of the Greek league.
Okay.
So it's a good mixture, and very high participation in both.
All right. So how can people sign up for these events?
So they sign up. So we share all of that information of what leagues we do have offered for that semester at the very beginning of the semester, or kind of right before school starts. And how they sign up their website. It's called imleagues.com. And from there, they just make an account using their ASU email and ASU ID number. And from there, they can go and see what leagues we have offered and the different time slots that we have available for those sports.
So how many sports or activities does ASU offer?
A lot. So anything you can imagine, we probably offer it. So from your traditional sports like football, basketball, soccer, softball, volleyball, we offer those sports, those team sports, and we also offer the more or the less traditional sports such as table tennis, spike ball, cornhole, battleship. So pretty much any sport that you can think of, we probably offer it. If not, we're open to seeing if it's something that we can do, if it's feasible, and if there's an interest, we'll definitely give it a shot. If not, we have like a learn to play series where you can just kind of drop in, see what the sports are like, and learn if it's something new that we haven't offered, or if it's something that we're not sure how it will work. We'll offer for either a day or just kind of learn to play.
And which sports have the highest sign up, and which ones have the lowest sign ups that you find typically?
Typically, it's going to be our flag football, our 7v7 flag football, basketball, and our softball leagues.
Okay. Is there anything that's kind of struggling to get participation in?
For the most part, all of our leagues fill. Some of them, again, have higher participation than others, but for the most part, we usually have a wait list in all of our sports and all of our different leagues, too.
Have you ever had to cancel a sport for a season because of the lack of participation?
Not that I know of on the Tempe campus, but on downtown, there's been a couple of sports where we had to cancel just because participation wasn't as high. But for the most part, I don't recall any leagues having to be fully canceled.
Okay, and have you seen participation in these events have a positive impact on students' social life here?
I see it as a positive. I think it gives an opportunity for the students to kind of get away from the books, get away from studying the things that might be stressing them out. Gives an opportunity to hang out with friends, make new friends, and trying to just build that community with either people that they might already know, people that they have in class, or like just make new friends. And it provides an opportunity kind of for our student staff to do that as well. There's thousands of students that participate in intramurals, and every night they're going to meet someone new. So it gives, again, an opportunity to make new friends or just reconnect with friends that you might not see anymore because you have different classes.
Okay. And then do you see a way for these to improve upon what they are already?
I feel like there's always room for improvement. I think our students pretty much run the program. We just kind of help administer it. But they do a great job. And again, it's just small tweaks here and there that we can do to make it run smoother. But there's some things that we can't control, like the rain. Like when it rains, it's hard to run games that night. So we have to reschedule it. So I guess the one thing would be having more time, more availability if we had it, but maybe even more field space as we continue to grow our programs. That would be something that could help improve our programs, just having more opportunities, more space, so we can include more students, more teams, and just kind of get out there a little bit longer.
Last question, is there a semester that has higher participation in this, spring or fall?
I think they're pretty balanced, just because we have a lot of our popular sports in each semester. So flag football, our big flag football season kicks off the fall semester, and then basketball kicks off the big spring semester, which softball ends the spring semester, but we also have basketball that ends the fall semester. So we have our popular sports, or one of our most popular sports, happening at all times. So it just keeps those numbers pretty even.
All right, well, thanks again to John Merryman. Now let's get into our first guest here. All right, so I'm here with my good friend Colin McAdams. He's participated in ASU intramurals here. Colin, how are you doing today?
I'm not too bad, pretty good.
So let's start with the interview. What intramural sports have you played here at ASU?
When I came to ASU, I was looking more to play what I played in high school, so I played both basketball, and then I joined a football league too, but it was only flag.
Now, was it a 7-on-7 flag or a 4-on-4? What was the league size? The team size, I guess.
It was 4-on-4 or 5-on-5, I'm pretty sure. I'm not totally quite sure, but it definitely was a smaller team, and it was just a quarterback, receivers, and then basically safeties.
Okay, so which of these was your favorite to participate in, Colin?
I had fun playing basketball, and that's my favorite sport, but I think football was definitely the most fun when it comes to actually playing the game.
Did you win any championships in your participation?
Yeah, for my football year, we actually won the championship in the downtown league. We never ended up getting to play. Like they said, we got to get a play in the Sun Devil football field, but we did get T-shirts and a lot of cool stuff for it, so it was pretty awesome.
So what was the playoff setup like to get to the championship?
Okay, so first you start out with your regular season, and they have about 6 or 7 regular season games. I think it's 6, and they take the teams with 4 teams with the best record, and we ended up with the best record. We only lost 1 regular season game, and then we ended up playing the team that we lost to, and then ended up beating them, and the other team that won ended up beating their team, and it was just basically a semifinal, final, and then winner took home the T-shirt.
Oh, well, congratulations on winning your championship.
Thank you.
Would you ever participate in intramural sports again? Because I know you took this semester off. Would you do it again later down the road?
Yeah, I'll probably start doing it again. I might try baseball later in the next semester, or try something during the spring semester. But I had to kind of take a year off, just help my knee. I had torn my ACL, so help my knee get fixed and just make sure I was like staying focused in class. But I definitely would start over and do it again.
What happened to your knee? Did it happen in intramural sports or was it outside?
It was outside, but it actually disabled me from playing baseball last year, so that's why I want to try baseball.
Okay. Do you have any advice for someone who's new to intramural sports? Like, I've never played before. I didn't know you could participate until this semester, actually. Do you have any advice for someone like me?
Yeah, I would say just take it as like something fun. I mean, if you go into intramural sports thinking it's like how you played in high school, how you played in like all these club leagues during like your younger years, it's not going to be as fun because you're going to take it so seriously. I mean, in intramurals, you really don't have a coach. You're just playing with students, friends. I mean, so just play the game and just learn how to play the game. It's just really all about having fun and just continuing to play a sport you love past high school.
Is there a sport that you wish that ASU would add? Because they even do, table tennis, like going into weirder things. They have, Madden tournaments, 2K tournaments. Is there something you wish that they would add for you?
I mean, ASU does a really good job with like keeping everybody in tune with like their sports stuff. They have everything: ping pong, table tennis, indoor soccer, even. I mean, but I think they should add something like lacrosse because I mean, kids never really got to play lacrosse. Like me, I at least never got to play it in high school, so I would love to try to get to play something like that I never got to try before, and I think other kids would too.
So, again, going back to someone who's new like me, what was the sign-up process like for these leagues?
I mean, it wasn't too hard, but definitely was like kind of annoying at a point because you sign up for the ASU intramural website, and then you go to the team you want to sign up with, and then basically the team captain, whoever made the team, has to accept you then. And then once you're accepted, you have to answer this questionnaire saying you know all the rules of intramural, and you have to pass with 100 to be able to continue playing in the games. And they'll check, and they'll see it when they see your ID, like, oh, he hasn't done it. So they won't let you play unless you complete that stuff. So it is kind of tedious, but it's not too hard to sign up.
And for those of you out there listening, the website that he signed up on that he's talking about is imleagues.com, and that's where you can sign up for all the ASU and other colleges intramurals. All of them are in there. So going back to the questions here, did you experience any problems with the intramurals, the way that they were ran, the refereeing, anything like that?
So actually, we did experience some problems, and I'd say it's mostly the referee system I think they have there. I mean, it's referees that are college students as well, so you can't get too mad at what they're like calling because they probably don't know too much about the sport. But at the same time, like these people are out there calling games, and during our basketball league, we had a chance to make it to the basketball playoffs, but we had made a buzzer, like a last second shot, 3 seconds left, and they had ridiculously called a foul on us after coming back because they thought we were going to go for the foul, but we weren't even trying to foul. And so, like, our entire team ended up kind of getting up and yelling at the ref, like, that's stupid, you're ridiculous. And we all ended up getting kind of suspended for a game. But I think that if they just trained the refs a little bit more, it would be a lot easier for the students to have more fun because the refs kind of call a little bit too much.
And so talking more about the experience, where did you play these football games at? What was the field conditions like? Was it good? What was the equipment like as well?
Okay, so for the football games, we actually walked down. We played it downtown, so we actually walked to the ASU prep school, like for high school students. It's like 2 blocks away from the downtown campus, and they had a football field. And that was really nice, actually. It was big. I mean, it wasn't like marked or anything, and they didn't play on it, but they definitely practiced on it. So like there was dirt areas, but it was grassy, really well grassed, and then they also had like field goal areas. And then they would set up cones, and it was like 50 yards instead of 100 yards for the flag football games. And I mean, there wasn't really a uniform or anything, and they didn't really give you too much equipment except for the football and flags. I mean, our team ended up just dressing in athletic clothing at every game just to make sure that we were ready to play.
So would you say that the teams you've been on are a fairly competitive group, or were they just kind of more out there to be having fun with the games?
When it comes to basketball, I'd say we were definitely out there just having fun because by our second game, I mean, the teams that we were playing, we had joined the A League, which apparently was the best league in the whole like intramural system, and it was just teams on teams who were able to dunk, able to just do stuff that young college kids like us couldn't do. So we started playing it more of just having fun, just messing around with the people who were better than us, and it ended up being like actually a really fun end to the season, even though like we didn't like have the best ending with the refs. But with football, it was more of a competitive nature, I guess. The kids that I was playing with, I mean, some of them were the same as the basketball team, but some weren't. And I think when we realized like that we were better than the other teams and that we could actually win it, I think we just kind of got this little competitive edge and started actually trying really hard to win it.
All right, well, thanks again, Colin. Congratulations on your championship, of course, and best of luck to you in your future intramural experiences.
Thank you. You have a good day.
Thanks.
Asking. So let's start off with, what intramural sports have you played here?
I played quite a few. Started off with football in my freshman year. Did both 7v7 and 4v4. Then I went over to basketball, 3v3, over at the West Campus. And then this last semester, I've actually did dodgeball, which was pretty interesting as well.
So did you play at the West Campus? Did you play at any other campuses?
For football, once we make it out of the West bracket, you kind of get put into a bracket, like a playoff bracket in Tempe. But other than that, no, it's been mostly at the West Campus.
So, do you tell me what the West Campus sign-up process is like? I've heard what it's like at Tempe. I've heard what it's like downtown. What's your experience?
I mean, usually I just go online, fill it out online, and then I'll just head down to the gym that's down there on the campus. There's usually some kind of personnel that's there to help you out if you have any troubles or difficulties, or if you need to change maybe what day you play on, if there's different days you can play on. But other than that, it's been pretty simple for me.
So for the listeners at home, what is the website? You said you signed up online. What's the website they can go to?
It's just I am League Intramurals, and then it's pretty much based through hundreds and hundreds of schools throughout the nation. So you kind of just have to go on there and search for ASU. And if I'm remembering correctly, it is all under ASU, and then there's subcategories like West or Tempe, and for the different campuses.
Okay, and do you remember the fees that you had to pay for each of these events?
Yeah, there's I think there's two options. There's a year option, which I believe is $25, and then I think you can just pay for your whole like 4 years, which I believe is like $100, something like that.
So, did you run into any problems with how the leagues were ran? Any officiating issues, anything like that?
Not really problems. The one thing I would recommend is to be very careful when you're actually signing up, because just to make sure what dates the days like the events are actually held on, because what they'll tell you is the day the sign up date, or the last day you can sign up, and then they don't actually tell you what days the event is on. So I've actually had an experience where I went in and I was thinking that because of the last semester I played with, they were on Tuesdays, but they switched the days to Mondays. I had no clue. So when I went in to play on my first game, I had found out that the game had already been played the day before. So just keep a close eye on that. Other than that, it's been smooth sailing pretty much.
So what about your experience now? Did you win any championships or go to the playoffs in any of these leagues?
Yeah, like I said, for football, we won the West campus. So out there's about 8 teams that play. So like your prior guest Colin said, the top 4 make it, and then you play in a little mini playoffs, and then the top 2 from that go to Tempe, and then at Tempe, that's where all the campuses come together to do like the mega bracket playoff. And we made it to, I think, the 3rd round. I think there was four total rounds, so semifinals, and we ended up losing to a pretty good team out there in Tempe.
So, we offer many events here at ASU. Is there one event or a couple events you wish that we would offer?
No, not really that I wish you would offer, because I'm pretty. I mean, you guys, ASU in general, they offer battleships, which I think is pretty. I've never tried it, but I think that's pretty cool. And kickball is another one that I would want to try. Haven't done yet. because I play in a league outside of school, so I think that'd be interesting to play. But no, I don't really think there's something that I wish would be added. It's just more sports that I wish that I need to try the next semester.
So which one that you're looking to try besides kickball? I know you mentioned that. Maybe battleship. Is there another one? Table tennis? Or...
Yeah, table tennis would be pretty cool. I'm a big sports fan. I've always played softball, so kind of joining in a softball league, that would be kind of cool out here too. Currently trying to learn how to skate. So once I get that down, maybe a little bit of hockey or something like that. But like I said, all sports are a go for me. So
very interesting. So for the listeners at home who haven't tried intramurals, kind of like myself, who are a little nervous, a little shaky to get in, do you have any advice for them?
Just go for it, man. I was coming out. I was in the Army before I came into school, so I was a little bit older than most of the freshmen during my freshman year, and so like coming out, it was kind of that little like social gap of 3 or 4 years between me and the other players. But yeah, man, I just recommend going for it. Like I said, with that social gap, it was kind of hard for me to get along with some of them because, you know, just different experiences. But once I got out there and I just started talking, you know, just got social, and it was pretty smooth. It was pretty fun.
Interesting to hear that you're in the Army and the social gap. Going off of that, do you feel those benefited you positively in a social manner to make more friends, reach out a little bit?
Oh yeah, definitely. And with that military experience, I'm kind of like, I don't want to say judgmental, but I'm judgmental of people. So like going through that and meeting new people, new stories, and kind of learning from each individual that I played with, not even players, but the refs, maybe the people that were out there watching. It was definitely encouraging for me to do this, to keep going for more sports as well.
Well, congratulations. I hope you go on, play some more, and win some championships. Thanks for joining me, Marshall.
Definitely. Thanks, Tim.
Have a good one.
So there's the interviews. Again, huge thank you to John Merryman, Colin McAdams, and Marshall Bullock for joining me. We're done over here at Sparky's Playground Intramurals. Again, I was the host, Tim Iannello. If you want, you can follow along at Twitter at Tim Iannello. It's IANNELLO. Thank you. Go Devils.